saw box stack. Where did those shelves go that I bought? Press 1? Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't see those at the bottom. Damn, that's looping out of it.
Welcome to your first day at the dump. We've had some budget cuts, so our trainer was let go. Something about big miners and whiteboards. We've labeled everything for you pretty clearly, so you should be able to recognize the boxes right from the get-go.
Incoming trucks. Output. Goods storage 1, port D at 9, port A at 9:15, and then nothing until 1 p.m. BAC, DC, BC. So you can actually. It's fucking so stupid. I mean, it's kind of cool, but like, it's really dumb too. You can like really get it planned out. Okay, guys, 9 o'clock. We got a pallet A coming in. No, it doesn't suck like super hard, but like, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Well, let's give it a chance.
This is 80 cube, 80
Let's
paracetamol,
just give it like a little chance.
80 megamine.
Maybe it gets better. Maybe after 100 hours it gets better. Maybe you get like some cool unlocks later, though. You know, like the shelf seems cool though.
This shit may
Stack
be
right.
160 for this.
That's fine. But you
Alright,
can't see what
and
it
then
is. It doesn't show you like the label. Definitely have the label.
80 motor oil.
You can get some huge pallets.
80
Right
cube.
up to the spine.
Excuse me.
Look at that.
I need more megamine.
See, I think I should spend this time getting myself prepared.
20 batteries.
Because it's going to it's gonna hot up. It's gonna heat up again.
140, 160.
And look, there's so much money to make. Oh, you know what? I got all this cash. I can see what kind of stuff I can buy.
80 Orsian.
Storage guys.
80 paracetamol. And then I'm just gonna go to Dark House
Upgrade?
to place order.
I need 500 XP. I got 2,100. What happens
Okay, got another 80 in
when
there.
the storage tier upgrades? We get different stuff. So storage tier 2, for example, would be so storage tier 1 is just box. But then you can unlock wine, fruit, chemicals, plants, more boxes. Look at the hazard barrels, 150 bucks. Box just 15. You look at wine, it's 35 bucks. Crazy, you know? Can you hire employees? Apparently not yet. In the next update you can. Okay, let's see. Compounds. You can get freezers. Hazard. UV. What would that be? Equipment.
I want to have so much being produced that the production line gets jammed up, and not the
and shelves. Okay, fine. This game is not great, okay? I thought it'd be more fun. I honestly thought that this would be more fun. When I looked at it, it looked amazing. It did look really fun. You know, I thought this would be really cool, you know, to do some logistics or whatever. Oh, we gave it a shot, I guess. Maybe multiplayer is more fun. It is basically like working in an Amazon warehouse, and probably you make way more money at this one than you would at an Amazon warehouse. Let's be real. Also, the only way to get rid of pallets is you can't. Once they're out, I don't know how you put them back. You can't put them back onto the pile. I think you can't get rid of them. Oh, dumpster.
You're throwing away pallets in this game.
The truck. No, the truck leaves them behind, actually. So these expire. Like this one's expiring in 2 days. So you have to kind of keep track of what's expiring. And I mean, maybe that side of it could be quite
That's what we're doing here. I'm gonna sit at the other facility until it gets fixed up.
Or no. No. It might be fun. Look it, we got some stuff expiring in 1 day. Does that mean that it's going to expire overnight? We just miss out on that. Try Raid's game?
I'm doing a challenge. How drunk can I get in the beginning of the day without fucking up at the end of the day?
Let me go and grab a quick bite to eat. I'll go to the bathroom, and then when we get back, we'll there's that RuneScape game that we can try. There's Out of War, which is meant to be really good. We could give this a go. I don't know. See what Mouth wants to do, and I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Okay. All right. See you in a sec.
Of course, this we get freaking behind the game.
Late in the night of Valentine's Day 2014, air monitors at an underground nuclear waste repository outside Carlsbad, New Mexico, detected the release of radioactive elements, including americium and plutonium, into the environment. Ventilation fans automatically switched on to exhaust contaminated air up through a shaft, through filters, and out to the environment above ground. When filters were checked the following morning, technicians found that they contained transuranic materials, highly radioactive particles that are not naturally found on Earth. In other words, a container of nuclear waste in the repository had been breached. The site was shut down and employees sent home, but it would be more than a year before the bizarre cause of the incident was released. I'm Grady, and this is Practical Engineering.
You may be missing the
The
paracetamol.
dangers of the development
Never
of
mind, we
nuclear
have the
weapons
paracetamol.
aren't limited to mushroom clouds and doomsday scenarios. The process of creating the exotic...
Ooh, did you know that when you use a nuclear reactor, you create space elements that you have never seen and never been created on Earth? So therefore, you will always have elements on Earth that are of a spacious element, which means that the more you deal with such as a space element like radioactivity, you're dealing with becoming more like aliens, because aliens are just cancerous forms of humans, which means that they're the amalgamation of a human that's been fucked up over time by cancerous cells, making them develop less to be like humans, which humans are seen to be very beautiful and cute creatures. They're seen to be the pet of all aliens, because in the end of the day, they are so cute and adorable, they would like to play with them and make sure that they're taken care of properly. And so if aliens were to have enough money, then they could spend enough money to actually help out humanity in certain ways. Maybe that's why we have spaceships around. Hell, that might be one of the reasons, one of the billions of reasons why aliens would stop by here real quick. Just stop by. Okay? So an alien, if aliens live billions of life years, then technically them coming here is like less than 1% of their life. Maybe even just 10% of their life, if anything. And so when they come by here, they're like, damn, watching my creature live and die for 100 years is like playing a fucking video game. But I want to have my guy having as much fun. But how did I, like during character creation, everybody likes to make a fucked up character. So sometimes they'll make fucked up characters along the way, and that's the only reason why we were fucked up. But the cancer develops so badly that you start like losing, your skin starts becoming thicker to make sure that it could repel the solar rays. It starts becoming less melanated, and when it becomes less melanated, for some reason, probably just increases scale production, something like that. Anyways, so yeah, when you're working with a nuclear reactor, you are genuinely creating new elements, and you don't know it because they don't tell you. 99% of the time, unless you're smart enough to figure it out, you don't know that you're creating other elements, and you're creating other stuff that sooner or later our aliens would want, because we would create, just like in this game, we would create something that's worth over $1,000, which was the net cap for them at one point, which our net cap is like something like 999 trillion would be enough money to cover all the world's debt and still keep going. That's what this is. This covers a whole universe debt and more just for this 20 bag, because the aliens have lost the production methods to making it. Some of them, shit. So when we get on that world scale, yeah, I can't. That shit gonna be wild. That shit get crazy. But hey, I don't know much. I'm not the smartest man. I'm not the stupidest man. But damn, do I have some knowledge, and I like to spew it. Makes me feel good. If somebody wants to counteract the idea, I'd like them to go down in the comments and go counteract the idea, so I can become a better man, and I can be more efficiently drawn into the not just the native thought, but I'd rather be in the understanding thought process instead of the I'm idiotic because I'm moronic. There you go. Alright, packagers. We're gonna go figure you out. You go here. You go here. You go here. You go here. You're assigned to the brick press. Which I'm guessing if I can produce bricks, I can give them to the dealers, and the dealers can sell the bricks. My bricks probably contain a jar instead. So this thing is gonna be jar production all the way through. And this side's gonna be bag production for me. I guess how it. Because just like in real life, there's no way I'm gonna sell a brick of coke for less than $2,000, or a little less than 16. It's 1,000 grams. Yeah, no. The low production is 4,000, 6,000 per kilogram, which they say like 2.2 kilograms per. So I wouldn't sell it for less than 10,000 probably for a full blown brick. Which is 2,200. So in the United States, it's usually 13,000 per. Which costs like 7,000 per brick. 7,000 per kilogram.
Transuranic materials necessary to build thermonuclear weapons creates a lot of waste, which itself is uniquely hazardous. Clothes, tools, and materials used in the process may stay dangerously radioactive for thousands of years. So a huge part of working with nuclear material is planning how to manage waste. I try not to make predictions about the future, but I think it's safe to say that the world will probably be a bit different in 10,000 years. More likely it will be unimaginably different, so ethical disposal of nuclear waste means not only protecting ourselves, but also protecting whoever is here long after we're ancient memories or even forgotten altogether. It's an engineering challenge pretty much unlike any other, and it demands some creative solutions. The Waste Isolation Pilot Plant, or WIP, was built in the 1980s in the desert outside Carlsbad, New Mexico, a site selected for a very specific reason: salt. One of the most critical jobs for long-term permanent storage is to keep radioactive waste from entering groundwater and dispersing into the environment. So, WIP was built inside an enormous and geologically stable formation of salt, roughly 2,000 feet or 600 meters below the surface. The presence of ancient salt is an indication that groundwater doesn't reach this area, since the water would dissolve it. And the salt has another beneficial behavior: it's mobile. Over time, the walls and ceilings of mined out salt tend to act in a plastic manner, slowly creeping inwards to fill the void. This is ideal in the long term because it will ultimately entomb the waste at WIP in a permanent manner. It does make things more complicated in the meantime, though, since they have to constantly work to keep the underground open during operation. This process, called ground control, involves techniques like drilling and installing roof bolts in epoxy to hold up the ceilings. I have an older video on that process if you want to learn more after this. The challenge in this case is that eventually we want the roof bolts to fail, allowing a gentle collapse of salt to fill the void because it does an important job. The salt, and just being deep underground in general, acts to shield the environment from radiation. In fact, a deep salt mine is such a well-shielded area that there's an experimental laboratory located in WIP, on the other side of the underground from the waste panels, where various universities do cutting-edge physics experiments precisely because of the low radiation levels. The thousands of feet of material above the lab shield it from cosmic and solar radiation, and the salt has much lower levels of inherent radioactivity than other kinds of rock. Imagine that, a low radiation lab inside a nuclear waste dump. 4 shafts extend from the surface into the underground repository for moving people, waste, and air into and out of the facility. Room and pillar mining is used to excavate horizontal drifts or panels where waste is stored. Investigators were eventually able to re-enter the repository and search for the cause of the breach. They found the source in Panel 7, Room 7, the area of active disposal at the time. Pressure and heat had burst a drum, starting a fire, damaging nearby containers, and ultimately releasing radioactive materials into the air. On activation of the radiation alarm, the underground ventilation system automatically switched to filtration mode, sending air through massive HEPA filters. Interestingly, although they're a pretty common consumer good now, high-efficiency particulate air, or HEPA filters, actually got their start during the Manhattan Project, specifically to filter radionuclides from the air. The ventilation system at WIP performed well, although there was some leakage past the filters, allowing a small percentage of radioactive material to bypass the filters and release directly into the atmosphere at the surface. 21 workers tested positive for low-level exposure to radioactive contamination, but thankfully were unharmed. Both WIP and independent testing organizations confirmed that detected levels were very low. The particles did not spread far and were extremely unlikely to result in radiation-related health effects to workers or the public. Thankfully, the safety features at the facility worked, but it would take investigators much longer to understand what went wrong in the first place, and that involved tracing the waste barrel back to its source. It all started at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, one of the labs created as part of the 1940s Manhattan Project that first developed atomic bombs in the desert of New Mexico. The 1970s brought a renewed interest in cleaning up various Department of Energy sites. Los Alamos was tasked with recovering plutonium from residue materials left over from previous wartime and research efforts. That process involved using nitric acid to separate plutonium from uranium. Once plutonium is extracted, you're left with nitrate solutions that get neutralized or evaporated, creating a solid waste stream that contains residual radioactive isotopes. In 1985, a volume of this waste was placed into a lead-lined 55-gallon drum along with an absorbent to soak up any moisture and put into temporary storage at Los Alamos, where it sat for years. But in the summer of 2011, the Las Conchas wildfire threatened the Los Alamos facility, coming within just a few miles of the storage area. This actual fire lit a metaphorical fire under various officials, and wheels were set into motion to get the transuranic waste safely into a long-term storage facility. In other words, ship it down the road to WIP. Transporting transuranic waste on the road from one facility to another is quite an ordeal, even when they're only going through the New Mexican desert. There are rules preventing the transportation of ignitable, corrosive, or reactive waste, and special casks are required to minimize the risk of radiological releases in the unlikely event of a crash. WIP also has rules about how waste can be packaged in order to be placed for long-term disposal, called the Waste Acceptance Criteria, which included limits on free liquids. Los Alamos concluded that barrel didn't meet the requirements and needed to be repackaged before shipping to WIP. But there were concerns about which absorbent to use. Los Alamos used various absorbent materials within waste barrels over the years to minimize the amount of moisture and free liquid inside. Anytime you're mixing nuclear waste with another material, you have to be sure there won't be any unexpected reactions. The procedure for repackaging nitrate salts required that a super absorbent polymer be used, similar to the beads I've used in some of my demos. But concerns about reactivity led to meetings and investigations about whether it was the right material for the job. Ultimately, Los Alamos and their contractors concluded that the materials were incompatible and decided to make a switch. In May 2012, Los Alamos published a white paper titled Amount of Zeolite Required to Meet the Constraints Established by the EMRTC Report RF 10-13, Application of LANL Evaporator Nitrate Salts. In other words, how much kitty litter should be added to radioactive waste? The answer was about 1.2 to 1. Inorganic zeolite clay to nitrate salt waste by volume. That guidance was then translated into the actual procedures the technicians would use to repackage the waste in glove boxes at Los Alamos. But something got lost in translation. As far as investigators could determine, here's what happened. In a meeting in May 2012, the manager responsible for glove box operations took personal notes about this switch in materials. Those notes were sent in an email and eventually incorporated into the written procedures. Ensure an organic absorbent is added to the waste material at a minimum of 1.5 absorbent to 1 part waste ratio. Did you hear that? The white paper's requirement to use an inorganic absorbent became an organic absorbent in the procedures. We'll never know where the confusion came from, but it could have been as simple as mishearing the word in the meeting. Nonetheless, that's what the procedure became. Contractors of Los Alamos procured a large quantity of Sweet Scoop, an organic wheat-based cat litter, and started using it to repackage the nitrate salt wastes. Our barrel, first packaged in 1985, was repackaged in December 2013 with the new kitty litter. It was tested, certified in January 2014, shipped to WIP later that month, placed underground, and then it blew up. The unthinkable had happened. The wrong kind of kitty litter had caused a nuclear disaster. While the nitrates are relatively unreactive with inorganic, mineral-based zeolite kitty litter that should have been used, the organic, carbon-based wheat material could undergo oxidation reactions with nitrate wastes. I think it's also interesting to note here that the issue is a reaction that was totally unrelated to the presence of transuranic waste. It was a chemical reaction, not a nuclear reaction that caused the problem.
So chemically, we could also
was determined to be an exothermic reaction of incompatible materials in LANL waste drum 68660.
radioactive
Led to thermal runaway, which resulted in overpressurization of the drum, breach of the drum, and release of a portion of the drum's contents, combustible gases, waste, and wheat-based absorbent
because
into
there's
the
no
WIP
negative
underground.
temperature coefficient.
Of course, the root cause is deeper than that and has to do with systemic issues at Los Alamos and how they handled the repackaging.
Every fusion reactor
of the
wants,
material.
I mean,
The
every fission
investigation
reactor
report
wants to turn into a
identified
fusion
12
reactor
contributing
constantly.
causes that,
But once it
while
turns into a fusion
individually did
reactor,
not
it
cause
destroys
the
itself.
incident, increase the likelihood or severity of it. These are written in a way that is pretty difficult for a non-DOE expert to parse. Take a stab at digesting contributing cause number 5. Failure of Los Alamos Field Office, NA-LA, and the National Transuranic TRU Program / Carlsbad Field Office, CBFO, to ensure that the CCP, that is the Central Characterization Program, and LANS, that is the contractor, Los Alamos National Security, complied with Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, RCRA requirements in the WIP Hazardous Waste Facility Permit, HWFP, and the LANL HWFP, as well as the WIP Waste Acceptance Criteria, WAC. Still, as bad as it all seems, it really could have been a lot worse. In a sense, WIP performed precisely how you'd want it to in such an event. And it's a really good thing the barrel was in the underground when it burst. Had the same happened at Los Alamos or on the way to WIP, things could have been much worse. Thankfully, none of the other barrels packaged in the same way experienced a thermal runaway, and they were later collected and sealed in larger containers. Regardless, the consequences of the catastrophe were severe and very expensive. The cleanup involved shutting down the WIP facility for several years and entirely replacing the ventilation
I'm
system.
gonna try to see if I can go to my other factory.
WIP
Okay.
itself didn't formally reopen until January of 2017, nearly 3 full years after the incident, with the cleanup costing around $500 million. Today, WIP remains controversial, not least because of shifting timelines in public communication. Early estimates once projected closure by 2024. Now that date is sometime between 2050 and 2085, and events like this only add fuel to the fire. Setting aside broader debates on nuclear weapons themselves, the waste these weapons generate are dangerous now, and they will remain dangerous for generations. WIP has even explored ideas on how to mark the site post-closure, making sure that future generations clearly understand the enduring danger. Radioactive hazards persist long after languages and societies may have changed beyond recognition, making it essential but challenging to communicate clearly about risks. Sometimes it's easy to forget, amidst all the technical complexity and bureaucratic red tape that surrounds anything nuclear, that it's just people doing the work. It's almost unbelievable that we entrust ourselves, squishy, sometimes hapless bags of water, meat, and bones, to navigate protocols of such profound complexity needed to safely take.
So he's talking about how we are considered nothing but water flash bags. And I'm like, yeah. That's basically, I was like, well, he's not wrong. If aliens were to look at us, what would they think we are? Just fucking food flash bags. Food and water. Or like a stim pack for them, because it's just blood. Strictly blood, no radioactivity, no cancerous cells. We're almost like premium suggestion for them to come pick out, if anything. Because if they chose anybody else would be toxic. Any other alien to them would be toxic because everything's already alienated to strictly them. Yeah, think about that for aliens. Aliens would be strictly forbidden to each of their clan's bloodlines, no matter what, because their blood would only be able to be influenced by a certain other blood. It would only be able to work with a certain other blood. Oh, it went to Doc's warehouse and not barn. I'm gonna have to go fucking run that shit over here. That shit's gonna be ass in 5 hours. But yeah, our blood is probably really good for aliens, and aliens' blood is probably really bad for them. And so our blood would give them a genuine buff for a bit. So they'd be like aliens. Disgusting flesh bags. So aliens more like disgusting flesh bags. We're like this disgusting medicine. So in the end of the day, we're great creatures. Because in the end of the day, whatever comes after us is gonna be disgusting. We're gonna get uglier with time, not prettier. So if you want to fuck somebody, go fuck them now. Because only with time will get uglier, not prettier.
Take advantage of radioactive materials. I don't tell this story because I think we should be paralyzed by the idea of using nuclear materials. There are enormous benefits to be had in many areas of science, engineering, and medicine. But there are enormous costs as well, many of which we might not be aware of if we don't make it a habit to read obscure government investigation reports. This event is a reminder that the extent of our vigilance has to match the permanence of the hazards we create. I talk a lot about news stories related to engineering, and I get a lot of emails from journalists wanting to interview me for stories they're working on. About a year ago, one of those requests landed in my personal email. Not a big deal, but I try to keep that inbox separate, so I asked how they got the address, thinking I had accidentally posted it somewhere. The answer was, I think, kind of brazen. They said, "We just bought your information from a data broker." I knew that was a thing, but it was surprising to see it admitted so openly. At the time, Incogni had recently reached out to sponsor a video. I told them, let me give it a shot, and then I'll decide. We all get junk mail, spam emails, and telemarketing calls. You kind of think that stuff is unavoidable.
I want to go grab some more
Those
booze.
lists have to come from somewhere, and robocalls are annoying, but data brokers can have more insidious effects, making it easier to steal your identity, take out loans in your name, stalk you, and more. Plus, algorithms can use personal info to decide what ads to show you and even the prices you pay for products. Many of these services offer a way to remove your information, but there are hundreds of these sites, all with their own specific form to fill out. That's where Incogni comes in. You authorize them to act on your behalf for this one specific purpose of removing your information from online databases. And then you're done. You can log on to see all the websites that have taken your info down, and Incogni just keeps working on it behind the scenes. I've been using it for an entire year now, and they estimate that if I were to do all this myself, it would have taken me 300 hours. It's tough to correlate this directly to a reduction in spam, but it definitely seems like I've gotten fewer unwanted phone calls since I signed up, and all the interview requests use my work email address now. But what's more important to me is the proactive part of it. It just helps make it harder for individuals and companies to use my and my family's personal information in unwanted ways. And if you like the same peace of mind, they're offering 60% off an annual plan at the link in the description. Take back control of your personal information at incogni.com/practicalengineering. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think.
avant-garde and kitsch. We think it's stupid art for stupid people.
How can you, how do you read this and not just get insulted? Like, reading pretentious garbage like this is so upsetting to me. Like, you can say the same thing without looking like a douchebag.
You say you'll be fine.
These paintings make my corneas hurt. I'm ashamed that this
Damien
artist
Hirst.
lived in my former hometown. The George
This is
W.
Damien
Bush
Hirst.
of art is worthless. They make me want to puke. They are false works. They are awful. Simply awful. It belongs in the trash. It is stupid art for stupid people. The worst paintings I've ever seen, and they will haunt me for the next half an hour. Those are all real quotes from comments, reviews, and articles concerning one artist and his work. Gee, these paintings must be pretty bad.
It's Damien Hirst, isn't it?
Pictures of babies eating each other alive, the scatological scribbles of a lunatic. No, these are the kinds of paintings those quotes are referring to. Now, if you're like me, you might be a bit confused. Why? Seemingly unremarkable paintings of cottages one would usually see on the covers of jigsaw puzzles, so viciously hated by some people. In fact, not just hated, but accused of being dishonest, damaging to art and culture itself. These are works
Artists
by
suck.
late artist Thomas Kinkade.
God damn
You
it.
could make a very good case that Thomas Kinkade was the most successful artist in the 21st century so far. His works can be seen on mugs, t-shirts, calendars, and probably somewhere in your grandmother's living room. Thomas Kinkade's own company claims his work can be seen in 1 out of every 20 American homes, and at the height of his career, his company generated $130 million in sales. Now I can totally see how someone could dislike his work. Perhaps they find it too excessive in its sentimentality, or is garish, or perhaps they find it simply generic. But to capital H, hate it. I admit I was initially a bit confused by that. In fact, people hate the art and the man so much that in articles about the man's death, you can find such comments as these. I hate Thomas Kinkade with every fiber of my being. Our long
Channel that energy to someone that deserves it, like
Nothing
Damien
wrong
Hirst.
with liking Kinkade's paintings, but, in my opinion, there is something wrong with people that like his paintings. Yeah, that's basically the same thing. The thing is that the people that buy this crap are ignorant morons from the southeast and midwest of the U.S. You know, the people responsible for electing George Bush. Their opinions on art are about as valid as a Gibbons opinion on quantum physics. Sir or madam, I know this is...
I did tier 1 Roland, Reset Mercy.
Remove your head from your own rectum. I think you'd be doing yourself a favor. What could have possibly prompted such venom?
Lazy tier 1 Wishing
on
Will.
paintings? What you'll find is that the reason for this hatred may have less to do with the art itself and more to do with matters of taste, the art world, and even as you saw in the last comment, politics. Today we'll learn about the many reasons to hate.
Well, this sounds interesting. I don't know why more people don't hate people like Damien Hirst and Jackson Pollock. Their work is the most awful dog shit ever.
Thomas Kinkade
Oh, I
was born
see.
into relative poverty in 1985 in California. He attended the University of California, Berkeley, and Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. Before college, he was known for having a natural talent for drawing, and was mentored by Glenn Wessels, a former college professor of art who lived just a few hundred feet from his own home. Wessels would eventually encourage him to transfer to the College of Design in Pasadena. Before his business adventures, Kinkade worked in background painting for an animated film.
Our actual technique goes, for the most part, we use a simple technical procedure. We just start out with a big wide brush made of skin, very scrubby at first, and as we went, we could gradually tighten the stroke.
Painting always impresses me, because it's so fucking hard.
Because there was a number of paintings to be done, over 1,000 for the film.
And traveled by freight train across the country sketching with James Gurney. When
I've got to
Kinkade
pee.
was 20,
I can't hold it any longer. Wow, this is a good frame to stop it on. That's a very wholesome picture of old Thomas Kinkade. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Y'all see how hard I'm working to make sure this shit works. This is a test just to see how long you can keep my retention while he's on Pittsburgh. One of my dealers.
I'm back. Is it Tier 1 Disaster the Musical?
He reportedly experienced a Christian reawakening. These newfound values seeped their way into his art,
Use of
which now
Partisan
focused
and
on
awesome.
optimism, natural beauty, and inspirational settings. Kincaid was able to amass such profits from
The
building up
resub blue
hundreds
box.
of Thomas Kincaid's signature galleries, which sprung up all over the country at their height and eventually spread internationally. These signature galleries sold high-quality digital reproductions, where one could have the option of having a specially trained assistant highlight the canvas-textured reproduction one was about to purchase. This highlighting consisted of the assistant adding small dots of color to give it detail and texture that was unique to that painting.
That's kind of a cool
Themselves
idea.
were also illuminated and decorated in a way totally opposite to the sterile white environments usually seen in other galleries,
Yes,
creating
very
a
cool.
cozy and homely atmosphere. Kincaid excelled at building his brand
Makes
throughout
use of gummy
every
worm and
aspect
prime
of
egg
the
roll.
purchase. Thomas Kincaid was in the money-making business. All his art appealed to the masses, and strayed away from any negative or even ambiguous themes. He had successfully commercialized his art to an extreme extent, and it worked. There are people who were...
It looks fine.
paintings. Clearly, many are willing to pay for reproductions, and many collect them religiously. The people who buy them are glad to have them. They find comfort in them. Since 1994, Thomas Kincaid's company, Media Arts Group, has traded on the NASDAQ and then on the New York Stock Exchange, making Kincaid the only artist to be a small-cap equity issue. It is estimated his business brought in $100 million in revenue annually.
Art is
Thomas
always
Kincaid
subjective.
was
Yeah,
wildly
until it comes to Damien Hirst or
as
Jackson
easy as
Pollock, then
would
it is
be to
objectively
dismiss
dog
all
shit.
this hatred as just jealousy of his spectacular success, and I'm sure that's a reason for some. For others, it certainly goes deeper than that. When you go searching for what people think of his work, you'll find a lot of negative reviews that use the word kitsch. This word appears everywhere. Kitsch, kitsch, king of kitsch. But what is kitsch? My first vague understanding of the word was something that's popular but also poor quality. The Oxford Art Dictionary attempts to define it as objects or design considered to be in poor taste because of excessive garishness or sentimentality, but that might be too narrow. According to cultural critic and philosopher
Whoa.
Walter Benjamin, kitsch is, unlike art, a utilitarian object lacking all critical distance between object and observer. It
God, these
offers
people are so fucking
instantaneous emotional
pretentious, it hurts.
gratification without
It hurts.
intellectual effort. According to Sir Roger Scruton, kitsch is fake art, expressing fake emotions, whose purpose is to deceive the consumer into thinking he feels something deep and serious.
Yes, unlike Jackson Pollock's work that really challenges the consumer to think about it. Just random fucking paint drippings. What was this guy's name? I want to look up what he likes.
Without intellectual effort. According to Sir Roger Scruton,
Roger Scruton. More like Roger Scrotum, am I right? Let's see. Roger Scruton. Roger Scruton on being right from the intelligence squad. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
The right is what its members make it, and they make it in a different way. What I was trying to say.
Oh wait, what?
We don't actually make it through these movements like momentum and so on. We're not the fist clenching type. We do.
Oh, is he talking about politics?
Through civil association, through our belief in and love for the country that is ours, and our desire to protect.
I misunderstood the title. It was like a Rick and Morty kind of thing. Like, you're wrong if you don't like Rick and Morty. I want to see what kind of art he liked. Can't really find anything about it. There's a couple articles where he talks about art he doesn't like, but that's not super helpful. Pretty much any art that looks like it takes talent, people don't like in the art industry. I guarantee you, Damien Hirst, Jackson Pollock, all of like your most famous artists, like more modern artists, I guess Jackson Pollock doesn't fit into that. I guarantee they couldn't draw a single person's face. They couldn't paint a single thing that looks like anything. It's just abstract dog shit that even a child could make. There's the Prime Bronson. Yeah, I can't find anything on like Roger Scruton approved art. Thanks, 3 substone. Yeah, I remember Bob Ross was shit upon by most like fart sniffing artists back in the day. I do remember that. Again, anything that looks like it has any form or shape to it, or anything that looks like it took time and effort, is very frowned upon in the community.
Kitsch is fake art, expressing fake emotions, whose purpose is to deceive the consumer into thinking he feels something deep and serious. I think it's quite a claim to say something expresses fake emotions, but it might give a better idea of what kitsch is. Even famous, well-established contemporary artists have been accused of using kitsch. My general understanding is art that is not challenging, not complex. But ultimately, the word is hard to define. Its vagueness allows it to be applied to a wide range of stuff, and for that reason,
thank you
I
for
find
the
it
raid.
inadequate to fully describe why people...
Welcome. Thank you for the raid, Jinx.
Articles and reviews will also frequently...
Hope you had a great stream.
Garish.
I hope you like dog shit art.
And nauseatingly cheerful. All understandable reasons for disliking something, but even so, how does that translate from just mediocre art to art being a national nightmare? Thomas Kincaid has been...
He looks like such a wholesome guy.
...in Rockwell, mainly because of his appeal to American values and usually cheerful scenes. Some have even put both their work into the same dreaded category of kitsch. But I think a more fitting comparison is Bob Ross.
Yeah, boy wonder.
That appealed to large mainstream audiences. Both mostly consisted of landscapes without people, and both lives were even cut short at around the same age. Now, I love Bob Ross. I mean, who doesn't? But
yeah,
I
how could you not?
call his work challenging. In fact, one can make the case that it is kitsch. No, the significance of Bob Ross is not really his art, but the hundreds of PBS videos he made painting art. Bob Ross was able to reach millions of people and inspire them to pursue oil painting through easy-to-follow alla prima techniques and the soothing, earnest commentary that works both as a tutorial and as relaxing meditation.
I've had a really cool idea for a while. Someone in the chat just reminded me of this. I thought it would be a really interesting idea if I did like some dog shitty Damien Hirst, Jackson Pollock style art under a pseudonym, and then just had like a really wealthy person I know buy it for an absurd amount, and I just give the money back, obviously, but making headlines just to get that name out there and see if I could get some real, genuine, stupid, rich assholes to buy my work. So I was wondering, it's something I've been thinking about doing, but I need to find who would do it. I was gonna try and ask Gronk about it, but I just feel like he really wouldn't. I don't think he'd want to. But I really think it's a good idea, because most of these big artists like Damien Hirst are big because they know rich people that buy the fucking art from them for money laundering purposes. And I feel like you can replicate that if you just know someone with a lot of money. Isn't that illegal? But that's how all big modern artists start. Look up Damien Hirst's history. He doesn't even make the art himself anymore. He has people paint the polka dots for him. But he sells it as his to people he already knows. I was gonna look it up, but now I don't feel like going through Damien Hirst's fucking big biography anymore. Thanks to the resub, AJ.
Extremely valuable. Both Thomas Kincaid and Bob Ross sought to comfort their audiences through painting. However, when it came to them as people, Thomas Kincaid was no Bob Ross. Thomas Kincaid was very vain. He branded himself as Thomas Kincaid, the painter of light.
Wouldn't saying this out loud fuck you in the
Even if
future?
you like his
No,
work,
you'd never know it's me.
making
I'd have a
everything
cool
glow
pseudonym.
is not something I would consider a remarkable use of
Bramian
light.
Burst.
These guys are painters of light, not Thomas Kincaid. He's also said things like, "God is my art agent," and "We have a grassroots movement emerging in my art and in the country, and there's 10 million people out there that if I give the word, will go out and picket any museum I want them to." In one case, he bet journalist Susan Orlean $1 million that a major museum would hold a Thomas Kincaid retrospective in his lifetime.
No.
Thomas Kincaid was also not shy to talk about
You met the Pope?
beliefs and conservative family values. The prominent light so often seen in his paintings, he said, represented the light of God penetrating the darkness, as well as Jesus' light of the world. He quite openly resented the elitist art,
These are the bits, Professor.
insisting that his
And the
work
recent
was
Girthquake.
uplifting and a positive influence on the world, while modern art was nihilistic and ugly. In one interview, he said, "The number one quote critics give me is, 'Tom, your work is irrelevant.'"
Ooh.
Now, that's a fascinating comment. Yes, irrelevant to the little subculture, this microculture of modern art. But here's the point. My art is relevant because it's relevant to 10 million people. That makes me the most relevant artist in this culture, not the least, because I'm relevant to real people. Thomas Kincaid...
Yeah, he doesn't seem super likable.
...frequently engaged in shady business practices, such as defrauding authorized Kincaid dealers and exploiting
Thanks
their
to Resub,
Christianity
Rise
to
Up.
get them into the Kincaid business by dressing it up as a religious opportunity, all the while getting them to take on unreasonable amounts of Kincaid's work at fixed prices. Many gallery owners claimed Kincaid had ruined them financially in the name of God.
Oh.
Kincaid dismissed these accusations while also
It
saying
is what God would want, I think.
Kincaid was also an alcoholic,
Fuck 'em.
and as his businesses began to decline, he engaged
Exit tier
more
1.
frequently in drunken episodes
Crandall and
where
Resub
he was
CUZZO.
prone to cursing, heckling performers, one accusation of groping, urinating on a Winnie the Pooh statue while yelling, "This one's for you, Walt," which I don't even think that one's bad. That's hilarious.
That's pretty cool,
Drunk
actually.
driving, which is less hilarious.
He's even wearing a Jackson Pollock
Eventually,
shirt.
on April 6,
Never mind.
2012,
You guys
he
work.
was killed by an accidental overdose of Valium and alcohol.
Wow.
Even after his death, a legal battle over his estate
Brick stick
between
down.
his estranged wife and girlfriend took place, all prompted by these drunken, barely comprehensible wills. Eventually, both parties settled out of court. These events are made even more ironic just by going onto YouTube and watching some of the painting demonstration videos he made before his death. The ones where he actually explains his techniques are fine and decently informative, but on others, the man can't do 2 minutes of actual painting without cutting it off and giving a speech about how God inspired him and how we should all be looking toward the light or something. Religious beliefs aside,
Well,
are you trying to give an informative peek into your process, or are you just going to preach to the audience? Considering how interested he was in maintaining his positive image and Christian values, my guess is the latter. If you're still wondering how people could hate a Thomas Kincaid artwork for political reasons, well, it's because the artist himself politicized them. He fueled the rift between the art world and people outside of it. And to be fair, it seems some of the art world fueled this conflict as well. And oh boy, does Thomas Kincaid's opposition get political. That's how you can get articles like Thomas Kincaid, the George W. Bush of art. Their reasoning? Kincaid, like Bush, peddled a falsely simplified image of the world, and that the same bad taste that made people invest in fraudulent galleries also elected George Bush and sent their children off to die in war.
Okay.
There's even another article titled
Bro,
"Is
it's a
George
jigsaw
Bush
puzzle
a better
painting.
painter than Thomas Kincaid?" Which argues
Man's
that
looking
George
for a
W.
fucking
Bush's recent
intricate view of the world that
paintings are
challenges
more
thought
interesting
process
than
with a
Kincaid's
fucking
work
jigsaw puzzle.
because they are more inventive and emotionally resonant. As Elisa Bennett quite bitterly explains in her article, A Dream from Christmas Cottage, though Kincaid's paintings often pander to evangelical Christianity, which is probably the most legitimate reason to hate them, the primary reason that the art world has erected aesthetic and conceptual barriers around him is one that echoes Clement Greenberg's 80-year-old essay on the avant-garde and kitsch. We think it's stupid art for stupid people.
How can you, like, how do you read this and not just get insulted? Like, reading pretentious garbage like this is so upsetting to me. Like, you can say the same thing without looking like a douchebag. And then, of course, this. We think it's stupid art for stupid people, yet people paying millions for Jackson Pollock's absolute trash. I always go back to Jackson Pollock and Damien Hirst, but there's millions of others.
80-year-old essay on the avant-garde and kitsch. We think it's stupid art for stupid people. That is, those who are too intellectually flabby to spot the difference between the real and a charlatan's flattened approximation. Yes, to some, hating a Thomas Kincaid painting has political dimensions to it. But I think a slightly more charitable explanation that is less political and more merit-based comes from the art critic Jerry Saltz. The reason the art world doesn't love Kincaid isn't that it hates love, life, goodness, or God. We may be silly or soulless or whatever, but we don't automatically hate things with faith and love or that other people love. The reason the art world
Hirst did
doesn't
Drake
respond to
album?
Kincaid
He did crush
is
it.
none,
It looked
not
good.
one of his ideas about subject matter, surface, color, composition, touch, scale, form, or skill is remotely original. This might be the most succinct and clear explanation of an aspect of why some people hate his art. It was something I suspected from the beginning, but it was just never actually written down clearly until this man finally gave a beautifully specific reason. Now I agree, in fact, that they are unoriginal in those aspects. But, and I know this is like a cardinal sin according to art critics, I don't hate Kincaid's art. Some paintings I like. Some I wouldn't mind having a print of. Quite a few I find excessive, and quite a few I find downright horrendous. But I don't hate everything he has ever painted. People often insult Kincaid's work by calling them greeting card illustrations. Well, greeting cards need illustrations, don't they? Or else they would just be white pieces of folded paper with
checkmate.
Hate them or love them, his paintings fit that purpose. You aren't going to find academic history paintings or Basquiat art on get-well-soon cards. That would be tonally incongruous. But a cozy cottage? If the man had just accepted that his art wasn't going to be seen in high-class museums, maybe the kind of vicious hatred for his art from the art world still seen today.
I am curious, what gets seen in high-class museums now? I'm pretty sure all of it is that super trash thing like a banana taped to a wall or like Banksy's balloon picture, stuff like that. Let me see. What is like the most modern art exhibition that just happened? There's got to be something for 2021. Let's see, exhibit. Here we go. Top art exhibitions of 2021. Let me see what I see. Okay, I'll just allow some cookies. Alright, let's go through it. This is a recent one. That looks about right. Oh my fucking god. Oh, this isn't all just like paintings and stuff. I was looking for like paintings. This looks cool. What is this? A full Van Gogh thing? Oh, this. Oh! This. Okay. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. This is just art exhibits going on in 2021. I wanted to see art on display at an exhibit. Sorry, I see what's going on now. That was confusing. I don't know what to look for then. Maybe this. Yeah, the Van Gogh thing seems cool. That did look cool. Oh yeah, I'll try that. Maybe just like a museum or something. Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. Oh, here we go. They even have a tab for the exhibitions, I think. And then there's different categories. I guess this? No, this is booking an appointment. Jesus Christ. Someone just tell me something. Surely someone knows the name of, like, some kind of art museum that I can look at what the fuck gets displayed there. In, like, 2021. Like an art tour or something. MoMA. Man, you fucking assholes just googled Modern Art Museum, didn't you? And the first one that comes up is MoMA.org. This is like a database of just a bunch of different ones. I'm looking for like an actual exhibition that went on with a bunch of art displayed in it, or sold in it. You going to bed? Alright, come say goodnight in just a sec. San Francisco MoMA? Okay, let's try that. Jesus. Okay, this seems easy to navigate, I think. Nope, this is booking an appointment again. This is so hard. Well, I mean, even on just their homepage, like, their art collection here is kind of ass. Looks like these kids did this. Looks like they vandalized an art piece, but this is apparently the piece that's on display. Like, this is the cool art, I guess. This is just a projector in some concert. That is thought-provoking. I don't know, this is like a used hand towel or something, like they dumped some kind of staining liquid on it. Yeah, it's so hard to like actually find one of these goddamn art museums that just display some of the art. Needs to be some Harry Boy. Contemporary Art Daily. This is a website though. Okay, this is pretty fucking goofy. This isn't really what I was looking for. Okay, this is pretty goofy though. Okay, here. It's pretty cool. Very nice. That did come out very good. Wowee. Wow. They're doing a good job here. Wow. Sewing as the world ends. Jesus Christ. Thanks for the 5 gift subs, Harry Boy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to visit an art museum, to be honest. Whoa. I wish that I had sailed the darkened seas. I gotta really stop and digest this one, actually. There's a lot going on here. It's everything that it's not saying. And that's what makes it so powerful. Damn. You can really feel the emotion in each stroke of the crayon. The colored charcoal against the canvas. Wow. I didn't ask your opinion. Flags for countries that don't exist, but bodies that do. Okay. Whoa. Tenderness. It's Pickle Rick caught in between a couple kissing, I guess. Wow. These are deep. Damn. Like, you can feel the tenderness. this pretty much sums up most art exhibits, I imagine. Here's some canvases that there's like some scribbles on it somewhere in there. I don't know, just hanging up. Put like 50 grand on it. Someone's gonna buy it. Wow, this looks fun. That does look good. Fuck, it really makes you think. This is like when Squidward went to that place to be all alone. But this is like much more pretentious and like insulting. Damn. This shit really does speak to the soul. Exit tier 1 ping juice in the bit skill command. This is just a bunch of boxes. Merlin, you've outdone yourself here. Exquisite. Like, you have to ask yourself, what's in those boxes? Are we purchasing too much? It's a display of excess. And you see how the boxes aren't all lined up the same? There's a pattern to it. There's order in the chaos. Oh, it's beautiful. And then you also have to wonder who packed these boxes. Is it Amazon workers that are miserable and you can feel the hate? Is it someone like maybe a home business with a family that packed it? There's just so many things you have to ask yourself. This really is a challenging piece. Magnifique. Well done. I don't know what I'm looking at. Is this part of it, like this pubic hair here? Like glued to a picture? I don't know. Is this evidence in like a crime scene or something? I don't understand. A melting seal? Is that a video suggestion? Just a minute. Just a minute. I need to see those big T's. That sounds great. What the fuck? They drew the hands like I draw hands when playing Scribble. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. No sun. They actually just bought a shower curtain, a couple of them. You have to wonder, what's on the other side of the curtain? This one actually looks like there's some effort in there. Okay. There's something. This is weird, but at least it takes talent to make this. They're back-to-back, not awful pieces. It is weird though. But at the very least, it's not an easy thing to do, like everything else. Like this. This is called Diana. It's just a fucking plant. Oh my god, they bought a potted plant from Walmart. Look at the art museum. Jesus fucking Christ. Diana, you clumsy slut. What are you doing? What are you doing here, huh? Get out of the art museum. This is so fucking interesting to me. It's just an old gun that they came on, I guess. Again, at least this takes some talent to make this, but it is very goofy. Ah, here we go. Speaking of talent, hey look, here's some empty pieces of paper. With some orange. Thanks the resub, Danny. For an Eric Andre skit, they had a really obvious fake art setup that was meant to be destroyed and nobody even noticed. I think I remember that, vaguely. There's been a couple people that have done that. I don't remember who, but someone set up an art exhibit that was open to the public, and it was just nothing. It was just an empty white room, and that was the art. And people went in there and were taking pictures and losing their mind over it. Well, this was easy. He just took a picture outside of his window. He's got a nice house and he's flexing. This is so interesting to me. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna be scrolling for fucking hours if I keep going. We'll go back to the videos. Jesus Christ. Art, like modern art, is one of the most bafflingly outrageous things to me. And the thing is, I never see anyone defend it. I literally never see anybody online defend it that isn't also laundering money with art themselves. Like, it blows my fucking mind. Nowhere on the internet do I see anyone like, no, Charlie, actually, Damien Hirst's pieces are pretty thought-provoking. Those pills kind of changed my life when I saw it. Nobody says that. But like the pretentious, weird art world where everyone's super rich and dumb defends it. I'm gonna go say goodnight to Tiana real quick. I'll be right back. And thanks to the resub super.
That conflict. What is Thomas Kincaid's legacy? Can a man be defined by his worst attributes? Was he really just a hack
That sounds
used
cool,
religion and
Orange.
soothing images to swindle
Can't
people
click
out
links,
of their
tease.
money? Or
Just tell
was
me
he
what
a
it is.
flawed businessman of faith that produced art that may not be wholly original, but tried to instill some sort of simple beauty in an ugly world, who in moments of weakness succumbed to his worst tendencies? I can't really give you a good answer, but Kincaid will certainly not be the last of his kind. John McNaughton has been described as the Thomas Kincaid of Christian nationalism. His paintings are some of the most overtly political and excessive oil paintings out there. And like Kincaid, they are technically competent. I wouldn't say they are breathtakingly skillful, but he's probably a better painter than most people. Now, whether you agree or disagree politically, you have to admit that these paintings are a bit much.
As you
As in,
resub
they are
Julius.
extremely dramatic and far from subtle in their messages. But it's still art.
And the resub
In fact,
cape.
not only is it art, it's fascinating art. It reveals the inner psyche of the artist and the zeitgeist of large swaths of the American population. These paintings aren't just some crude Photoshop that your grandpa shared on Facebook. These are huge canvases that require technical skill,
Tour of
planning,
Portland Art
and
Gallery.
design.
Ooh,
They
that sounds
contain all
nice.
the nuance of political cartoons, but upgraded to far more detailed, loosely realistic paintings. They are also, by definition, propaganda. In his work, Legacy of Hope, he combines dozens of figures from history together, comforting Donald Trump, I suppose.
What the fuck?
Many who would downright hate each other. And whether you agree with their messages or not, you have to admit they are ripe for meme material. And I don't know about you, but I think that has a value on its own. I also find this quote from McNaughton quite fascinating. I'm just honestly a little perplexed. I have no idea where buyers are hanging them. I just know I sell a ton. Sometimes I'm shocked at how many I sell. That one I told you about, Obama burning the Constitution. When I painted it, I worried, this thing is just hideous. Why would anybody hang that in their living room? It's not, he says, the kind of warm, happy work people typically want in their homes. This is where McNaughton and Kincaid diverge. McNaughton does not seem to be as interested in making money, and at least appears to have some self-awareness that his work will likely not be accepted as high art. However, McNaughton may be a sign of something greater.
Exit tier
Maybe
1
Kincaid will eventually
Swayze.
win his museum bet, but not in his lifetime. In some bizarre twist of fate, museums of the future may display his work in the context of the beginning of a movement of populist conservative art. They may be seen as not aesthetically or emotionally significant, but historically significant. And who knows, maybe the tides of the art world will change and Thomas Kincaid's work will be seen in a new respectable light. I have my doubts, but art critics have been wrong before. Unlike others apparently, I cannot bring myself to feel joy in this man's death. The life of Thomas Kincaid is a life of tragedy. The man had talent, and dishonest or not, attempted to bring some sort of positivity into the world, but was stunted by greed and mass appeal. It seems he wanted to be
misguided.
loved by everyone, and when he wasn't, he turned hostile. He preached about family values and God, and yet endangered others, was killed prematurely by the hand of his own addiction, and left his family fighting for his legacy because of his
I
failed
don't think he had a Valium
relationships.
addiction. I
His
think he
brand
was just
one of
using Valium
optimism,
as a way to treat
faith,
something.
and comfort. His paintings were serene,
I don't think he was
peaceful,
addicted to
Figures
it.
of cosmic
Most people don't get
without pain or
addicted to Valium.
suffering. Ironically, his life was anything but. Behind the artificiality of these idyllic scenes is the all-too-real reality of human folly.
That was
Most
a
people
very
don't get
nice
addicted
video.
to pills.
That was
They like abusing themselves with it.
The last thing Lieutenant
What if
Jake
it's
Havoc
someone-
Harper remembered before everything went sideways was touching down in eastern Syria. It was supposed to be a routine snatch and grab. A high-value Iranian Quds Force operative meeting with rogue militias. Get in, get out, and drop a JDAM on the site for good measure. But the second their boots hit the ground, everything went sideways. The blinding flash of light, a whirlpool in the sky, a vibrating sensation that washed over his body, then nothing. When Harper came to, his entire squad of Navy SEALs was intact, along with their 4 desert patrol vehicles, weapons, and gear. But their MH-47 Chinook, gone. Their JTAC comms, dead. Their GPS, just a blank screen. Like their squad was wiped off the face of the earth. Then Harper heard a sound he would never forget. Marching. Thousands of boots, moving in perfect unison, and shouting in Latin. Boss? Chief Petty Officer Ryan Boomer Watts, Harper's explosives expert, whispered into his throat mic as he pointed to the ridge. Harper followed his gaze. His heart stopped. A Roman legion, red, resplendent, and very, very real. In that moment, Harper knew one thing. What was about to unfold would defy history itself. Could a highly trained U.S. Navy SEAL platoon outmaneuver and overpower an entire Roman legion? Or would sheer numbers and battlefield discipline prove too much? Join us today on the infographic show for the ultimate clash. Navy SEAL platoon versus Roman legion. Who would win? A broad, dry valley stretched between the SEALs and the Roman legion, their crimson banners rippling in the wind. No doubt their scouts had already reported the presence of a strange band of foreigners perched atop the distant ridgeline. Harper's men stood frozen, their disciplined training momentarily overridden by sheer disbelief. They were SEAL Team 7, Alpha Squad, some of the deadliest special operators on the planet. Yet even they weren't prepared for this. Their original mission loadout had been designed for a quick surgical raid, a smash and grab in urban Syria, not all-out war against an ancient empire. They carried M4A1 carbines with suppressors, Mark 48 light machine guns for suppressive fire, a
Do they
Barrett
even
M82
have 500
sniper
bullets to
rifle
take
for
out an
long-range
entire legion?
interdiction, M9 sidearms, frag grenades, and enough C4 to level a city block. They were geared for rapid movement, close quarters combat, and asymmetric warfare, not a pitched battle against an ancient army. Yet, here they were, staring down an army of thousands, red-crested helmets bobbing and glinting in the sunlight, iron shields locking into disciplined testudo formations, javelins poised, their tips catching the morning light. There were no comms, no drone support, no quick reaction forces waiting in the wings. That meant no hope of rescue. The SEALs were utterly alone, stranded in an impossible place faced with an impossible enemy. But if any warriors in the modern world were suited for this fight, it was them. The SEALs weren't just killers, they were adapters, survivors, problem solvers. They had fought their way out of ambushes in the Hindu Kush. They survived nightmare insurgent strongholds in Mogadishu, hunted terrorists through cartel tunnels in Colombia. They had operated in environments where the rules of engagement shifted by the second, where the only law was violence and victory. Fine, Harper thought. If Rome wanted a fight, it had just found one. Survival instincts kicked in fast. Without a word, Harper and his men dropped into the prone firing position, using the natural rise of the terrain to give them cover and height. At over a mile out, they were lucky to trade distance for time. Time to assess, plan, and prepare. If the Romans rushed, they'd be cut down before they made it halfway up the hill. If they waited, the SEALs could set up a deadly kill
Bullets
zone,
could get some
perhaps even
double
an
collateral
ambush.
kills against the
Smith,
Roman army,
sniper,
but
shifted
Navy
into
SEAls
position,
versus the Roman
barrel
army
rifle digging into
probably.
the dirt as he peered through his scope. His
I don't know if
breath
the
slow
I don't
and
know if SEAls have
controlled.
enough bullets.
This
That's
is
the only
a
thing.
thrill,
If I
His
knew if they had
voice was
enough
dry,
bullets, then
tinged
I'd
with
say
dark
yes. If
humor,
they have like over
yet there was
1,000
an
bullets,
edge of
then
hope
definitely.
to
If they
it,
have
as
500
if the
bullets,
command
then
team might suddenly
maybe.
call it off, as if this was some insane full immersion VR exercise cooked up by DARPA. Harper didn't respond. He just scanned the thousands of shield-bearing warriors, their eyes set on the small force atop the ridge. This wasn't a drill. It was history, and SEAL Team 7 was caught smack dab in the middle. Harper gestured at the approaching army. You ever seen a historical reenactment with actual Romans? He said, not even believing his own words. Even the SEALs had to admit the Roman legion was a marvelous machine, precise, disciplined, and terrifyingly massive. From their ridge, Harper's men had a perfect vantage to witness its full crushing scale. Over 5,000 men advanced in rigid formation, their red crests bobbing in unison. Golden eagle standards gleamed in the sunlight, and each scutum shield was locked with a man beside him, creating an imposing, unbreakable wall. The front ranks marched with glad eye drawn, short stabbing swords designed for close quarters slaughter. Meanwhile, the rear ranks hefted pila, deadly throwing javelins that would turn any charge into a killing field. The red crests of centurions bobbed through the ranks, barking orders in clipped, efficient Latin, ensuring flawless coordination. There was no hesitation, no breaking formation, just a calculated, relentless advance. At the center of the force rode Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome, garbed in the gleaming steel of a Roman general. His plumed helmet caught the morning light as he observed the battlefield from horseback. Gaius Cassius Longinus, the second in command, rode beside him, scanning the SEAL's strange posture and position with the cold, calculating gaze of a veteran strategist. Harper had read history. These were no amateurs. A Roman legion wasn't just an army. It was a war machine, honed by centuries of conquest. Every legionnaire had been hardened through brutal training, taught to march 20 miles in full armor, to construct fortifications in mere hours, to kill in brutal close-quarters combat without hesitation. They weren't undisciplined rabble. They were highly trained warriors, their tactics tested against the mightiest empires of their time, Greece, Carthage, Gaul. And now their unyielding, disciplined advance was directed at the SEAL team, a small, black-clad group of warriors standing alone in defiance of the Roman war machine. They had never seen rifles, never witnessed four-wheeled chariots capable of impossible speeds, never heard the crack of automatic gunfire. But they had crushed enemies before, and they would do it again. A moment of impossible calm settled over the battlefield. The wind carried nothing but the distant rustle of banners, the soft clinking of iron against iron, as 5,000 men shifted their weight. Harper could hear his own heartbeat. He could hear the slow, measured breaths of his men, prone atop the ridge, weapons trained, fingers hovering just above their triggers, the weight of the moment pressing down like a vice. Then, from the mass of red and steel below, Crassus's voice thundered across the plain. It was the command to advance. The Roman legion surged forward, a wall of shields and bodies, an unstoppable tide of flesh and steel. Their footsteps rumbled like distant thunder, their war cries rising in a guttural ancient chorus. This was what they had done 100 times before. Advance, kill, conquer. They had marched across the known world, breaking enemies exactly like this. A smaller force clinging to a pathetic hill, foolish enough to believe the terrain would save them. It never did. Harper had seen what he needed to see. "Smitty, fire a warning shot," he bellowed, his dry voice cracking with a tinge of anxiety. Smitty's 50 cal thundered into life, turning a Centurion's head into a fine red mist. Save a few gobsmacked men around him, the surging Legion didn't even notice this isolated loss. To the thousands behind him, it was nothing but another casualty of war. "Weapons free," Harper bellowed. Obediently, the Mark 48s opened up, and all hell broke loose. Squad automatic weapons roared, belching a steady stream of lead. Suddenly, the Romans were dying by the dozen. A dozen turned to 50, 50 into 100. The front ranks collapsed in a wet, grisly cascade. As bodies folded backward, their shields splitting like rotten wood. Chainmail and leather offered no protection against the Seals' relentless fire. Romans shrieked, staggered, and tipped over corpses, only to be trampled by their own advancing brothers. When the Roman skirmishers had closed enough distance, the M-Force joined in the chorus, hollow points punching through muscle and armor. A young signifier carrying his unit's Sacred Eagle standard took 2 rounds to the chest and crumpled like a broken marionette. Another officer got hit in the leg, tumbling forward with a howl before being crushed beneath the stampede. For the first time in their history, Romans were fighting an enemy that could kill them from beyond the range of sight, and it terrified them. Some stumbled, eyes wide, looking to their gods, wondering if Jupiter himself had descended upon the ridge, punishing them with thunder and lightning. But discipline was discipline, and Rome did not break. Instead, they kept on coming. Barrels ran white hot, the acrid stench of burning oil and cordite filling the Seals' nostrils. Steam and smoke hissed from the overhead chambers, spent casings clattering down the hillside like brass rain. The DPV's mounted guns tore through the ranks of men, ripping bodies in half, turning the slope into a red, seeping mass of flesh. And yet, even as the hill became a graveyard, the Romans kept coming. Shields locked, feet driving forward. They reached a rocky spur midway up the incline. Bodies tumbled backwards, arms and legs flailing. The Romans clawed, stumbled, and climbed over the growing mountain of the dead. Then, almost without warning, the entire front line had disappeared. The field behind them was a wasteland. Groans and anguished screams filled the air. Limbs twitched, corpses shuddered in the dirt, fingers grasping at wounds that could never be healed. Harper's men slowed their fire, waiting to see if the Romans turned back. Smoke drifted up from their weapons, curling in the morning light. For a long, tense moment, nothing moved. The Seals breathed heavily, wiping sweat from their brows, searching for signs of retreat. And then they heard it. The clink, the grind of iron, the sound of shields locking together. The 40% rule is a mantra every SEAL lives by. The idea that when your body screams for rest, when your mind begs you to stop, you're really only 40% spent. SEALs are trained to override pain, fear, and exhaustion, to push past their limits and keep fighting long after a normal man would quit. But as Harper watched the fresh Roman cohort step forward, shields locked, swords drawn, unflinching in the face of certain death, he realized something chilling. The Romans lived by that mantra too. These men had just watched hell unfold. They had seen their brothers fall, their front line obliterated by weapons beyond their comprehension, and yet they did not waver. They did not break. The Legion was just a fighting force. It was an organism, a machine built to endure beyond the limits of human suffering. Harper let out a slow breath, nodding to himself as he slapped a fresh mag into his M4. His men did the same, rolling their shoulders, flexing their fingers, preparing for round 2. The SEALs had never faced an enemy like this, and that made it the best fight of their lives. And with that, the Legion resumed their slow, inevitable march to the top of the hill. "Time to move," Harper shouted. "Fall back to the ruins." The SEALs pile into the DPVs, gunners firing from the roll bars, kicking up dust clouds as they drift across the battlefield. Roman Pila javelins rained down, thudding into the earth where the SEALs once stood, and skidding across the dirt. They had escaped in the nick of time. Harper's M203 grenade launchers thumped, lobbing high explosive rounds into the tightly packed Roman ranks as they crested the hilltop. Bodies flew like rag dolls, shields scattered, the air filled with the screams of the men who had never seen, never even imagined modern war. Yet they kept coming. "These guys don't quit," muttered Corpsman Doc Mitchell, reloading his M9 sidearm. "They don't know what quit means," Harper replied grimly. The DPVs ripped through an abandoned outpost, down an old dusty road, an old Parthian fort. The SEALs were fortunate to have their high-speed vehicles. Without them, they would have long expended their ammo. At the ruins, they found a stone wall, some defensive positions, nothing major, but it was elevated, giving them a high ground advantage. Harper ordered his men to set up and stand fast. The SEALs dismounted, setting up a 360-degree defensive perimeter. Smitty took up a position on a crumbling tower with his M82 Barrett, scanning for high-value targets. The Legion halted. A brief calculated pause as they assessed the battlefield. Then their artillery arrived. Smitty couldn't believe his eyes. Through his scope, he saw a line of ballistas, massive wooden siege engines, ancient but deadly. The same type he had masked for devastating effect in countless strategy games on his old PC. Only this time he wasn't playing. The ballistic crews moved with practiced precision, their motions refined across countless sieges. Harper and his men watched from the crumbling fort ruins, sweat beating down their brows. The massive torsion-powered war engines were wheeled into position just beyond the effective small arms range. These weren't mere catapults, haphazardly lobbing stones. Ballistas were the apex predators of ancient artillery. Each one could launch a 6-foot-long iron-tipped bolt at speeds of around 115 miles per hour, easily impaling a man from head to toe or splitting a wooden shield like paper. A direct hit could pulverize bone, explode organs, or pin a screaming soldier to the wall like a hunting trophy. The Romans knew exactly what they were doing. They had laid siege to entire cities with these machines, shattered enemy morale by turning the air into a storm of spears and iron. Now those deadly machines were being aimed right at the SEALs and their ruined fort. Harper clenched his jaw. They had little time. The Legion was advancing. Smitty was low on ammo. The ballistas were taking aim, and soon the sky would be filled with death. But the SEALs had another trick up their sleeve. Boomer C4 charge, a massive block of plastic explosive carefully hidden beneath a discarded backpack at their previous firing position. It was primed and waiting. Boomer crouched behind cover, his detonator in hand. His eyes locked on the Roman officers gathering near the abandoned ridge. They had seen the destruction, the strange weapons, the fire, and the smoke. Their curiosity got the better of them. A legate knelt down to inspect the bag, gesturing for his tribunes to take a closer look. That's when Boomer threatened to press the trigger. A blinding explosion ripped through the battlefield, erupting like a volcanic shockwave. The ridgeline disintegrated in a flash of fire and rock as Roman wings launched into the sky. Flaming debris rained down, screams piercing through the dust cloud as high-ranking officers and their orderlies were ripped apart mid-command. The Legion faltered for the first time, and the SEALs smiled. There were still 2 minutes. The reality was undeniable. This was never going to be a fair fight in the long run. A single SEAL squad, no matter how lethal, could only hold out for so long against thousands. The Legion was built for endurance, a relentless war machine designed to grind down enemies through sheer attrition, sustained by foraging, supply lines, and ironclad organization. The SEALs were trained for surgical strikes, rapid assaults, and swift exfiltration, not a drawn-out war. With limited ammo, no supply chain, and nowhere to retreat, their time was running out. Harper knew it. His men knew it. Every burst of gunfire, every grenade tossed, every squad maneuver was a tick on the clock, winding down to the moment where they'd have to make their move. A strategic withdrawal wasn't the key. It was survival. And survival was something SEALs excelled at. They would slip into the countryside, vanish into the hills and villages, and regroup. It wouldn't be easy. They were strange men in a strange land. Once the Romans spread word of black-clad warriors wielding thundersticks, it would only be a matter of time before every soldier, every patrol, every citizen was watching for them. But Harper wasn't worried. They'd been ghosts before. They could be ghosts again. Harper was about to give the order to withdraw when he caught a movement on the far horizon. A shimmer of dust and steel, rolling across the plain like a storm front of death. His breath hitched. It only took a few seconds to recognize the shape of the onrushing tide. The glint of lamellar armor, the banners snapping in the wind. The Parthians had arrived. The Roman formation was still reeling from the explosion that had eviscerated its core officers. Confusion rippling through their ranks. That was when the first shockwave hit. A wall of thundering hooves, fully armed cataphracts crashing into the exposed Roman flank like a tidal wave of bronze. Spears snapped through chainmail. Lances punched through men and out the other side. Horses trampled screaming soldiers under their iron-shod hooves. Then came the second wave.
Thank you.
Horse archers swept in.
I gotta go.
Composite bows snapping with deadly precision as they unleashed clouds of arrows into the chaos. The projectiles
That's all
found
that.
their mark, piercing soft
Actually,
flesh through the
what happens if I do that
gaps of
and then you just sell the bricks after?
They could hardly believe their luck. Harper
I'm gonna go
watched as the
through
battle shifted in real
and
time. The Legion had been distracted, drawn away, and broken by the SEALs' initial assault. In a cruel twist of fate, it had been his team that had unknowingly softened them up for the Parthians. It didn't matter. What mattered was opportunity. Mount up, we're out of here, Harper yelled. His men didn't take convincing. The DPVs roared to life, kicking up great plumes of dust as the SEALs spun away from their fortified position. Using the chaos below to cover their retreat, Harper threw one last glance over his shoulder. The Legion was collapsing, bodies strewn across the field. Romans fighting desperately to regroup as the Parthians pressed their advantage. And then the SEALs were gone, vanishing into the desert, their black-clad figures swallowed by the dunes, leaving nothing but scattered shell casings and smoldering wreckage in their wake. You ever think about what'll happen when historians find those Roman corpses full of 5.56? Harper laughed as the desert whipped his face. Boomer and Smitty grinned too. Guess we just gave some archaeologists a real bad day. Could the SEALs have won outright? No. A squad versus thousands is unsustainable. The Legion was built for endurance. The SEALs were built for rapid, precise engagements. Could the SEALs survive long term? Doubtful. Their presence would become a myth. Their faces immortalized in rumor. Rome's vast network of spies, scouts, and informants would hunt them down. Unlike the Parthians, American SEALs couldn't simply disappear into the crowd. In the end, the SEALs won the fight, but they couldn't win the war. A modern special operations team, no matter how lethal, is still bound by logistics. History belonged to the armies that could endure, resupply, and outlast. And Rome had plenty of time. Would modern firepower crush ancient strategy, or would the Legion adapt and overwhelm? Let us know in the comments. Now go check out what if a squad of Navy SEALs time traveled to the Revolutionary War.
Joust is a little bit too easy for us. Being some of the top players in the game, it's just not a challenge. So we decided, let's give them a 3-minute head start and see how we do.
Five. Okay.
No, okay, 5 minutes.
Oh, darn.
5 minutes of us fucking, what do we do now?
Heads or tails?
Tails.
There's heads. You're a fucking idiot. You're both idiots.
Okay. All right. The fuck, man.
Thinking of things I'd want to.
Ooh. Such as?
A tail.
What?
Are we actually sitting here?
Yeah.
10 minutes.
No, not 10 minutes.
How long?
I think 5. Oh, 5 might be too hard.
Hey, me and 5 got something in common.
Okay.
5 is too long.
3 minutes. 3 minutes is sizable, I think. You guys come here often?
Shut up, man.
Okay. Finish your food. Hurry up. We got 2 minutes to finish your food.
You put your can back on. I need something to do. Fucking eat your food then, you stupid bitch.
Eat your food.
Jerking it, though.
What the
Never
fuck?
was a chance to be jerking it. But I'm gonna have just full divine rune coming out of base. I feel like I'm in school. I got my little sandwich, a little hostess cupcake, and a yogurt. Sit here and do nothing at school?
Halfway there, guys. Think they'll take our tower?
Probably. They should.
I'd be shocked.
My kid's gonna be so spoiled when he goes to school. The kids are gonna be like looking at him and be like, man, why do you always have the best shoes, the best snacks? You never have to worry about getting a ride anywhere because your parents will be like, yeah, I'll make sure I'll figure it out. I'm like, I didn't have.
There's no way they get it in time.
I figured out my own way to school. My parents provided me one that said if you don't get there, then you will get there on your own. I mean, I could wake him up, but I mean, waking him up was like a pain in the ass.
Taking him a while.
I got treated like a burden.
We better be ready to go. We gotta be ready to go.
I'm ready.
We gotta be ready to go.
Ready?
Alright. Unleash the hounds.
Alright, we're actually so good right now.
Yeah. Beautiful spot to be in. Perfect spot to be in.
Should have given them 5.
I think they would have won the game.
You could take the red buff.
What?
You guys are lost.
Free farm.
Just for us? Maybe it came back up.
Oh, why is it chaining me, bro? Chain someone else. Yeah, we get it. You're Aries. Good job, man.
You're so for it. We got turn here. Oh, what the fuck? We're
an animal.
Oh, like the red buff respawned.
That's what I was assuming.
Okay, we might get 5s here, guys, soon.
Nice.
Just wait till we get level 5. Then we're back. They're coming towards you, Bob.
They have a big lead. They're not leaving.
This big blue buff.
Hey, you. Let me buy that shit.
She's gonna pull you. Don't get pulled.
No, well.
These guys are good.
Look at this wave. Wait, we might get level 5.
We should be freezing these bad boys.
We probably should be.
That was a joke.
Okay. We probably shouldn't be. We can't fucking. We can't walk up.
Oh, they're on the night.
They're on the night. Get him. Get him. It's not even close.
Guys, I'm not 5 yet.
Yeah, I'm not 5 either.
No, you're trolling.
Ouch. That guy's hurting. They're back on it. Get in there. Aries ult down. You don't need 5.
Oh, get him, Knight. Yeah, get him, Knight. Okay, the Knight fucking went on me, man. This man's missing serve-alt, bro.
The guy jumped it. What do you want me to do?
This guy's missing serve-alt, bro. Okay.
Take that from me. I got
We'll
stun on
wander.
one, stun on one. You got follow-up?
Where's the stun? I must have missed it.
No, you ulted him into the air, so I couldn't hit him.
Okay, why are we already back in the game? What?
Commit,
Oh, I got it. Here. Huh, bro!
He said
That's
commit,
good. Now I
commit,
hit
then
level.
jumped over the wall.
11 does coming in
Get the
3,
buff, we got the buff.
2,
Oh, big.
1.
Big. XP
Another
game.
2K in.
Whoa!
Ooh, lazy backing. Not surprised.
Dude, this guy literally sprinted around the fucking side of the
Yeah,
map.
that was
just to
kind of
kill me.
crazy. That was kind of wild. They what? Fucking axe. Ew. Disgusting. I don't like that one bit. I'm here.
When I hear
I
you
love
got a
the
product, I'll
Batman
come
game.
back to you guys. But until then,
You actually don't get to play fucking Mordred.
No,
There's
not really. I'm behind Mordred too.
aspect in the game. Not aspect, but just matchup.
It's so far away. They're scared already. They're quaking.
They're playing like some bitches.
Like some bitches.
I have 0 stacks. I can't get any fucking or soul stacks because of that.
Stuck.
I love when my dealer looked at me. He was like, "You don't want to give me any extra cash, honestly, probably." As I was paying back one of my dead side to him, he looks at me. He's like,
That was slow.
I look at him and get quiet. I'm like, and he just looks at me. I'm like, sometimes I do give you extra.
Dated in fucking Narnia.
What are you talking about, man? I'm going nuts. Ooh. Look at that triple.
You're
Clean.
taking all my kills.
Clean.
Undeserved. Me and Bobby did all the
Goodness me.
damage.
How do we do it?
True. I knew what you were looking for.
What you looking for?
Little pillar.
He was trying to wreck you.
Turtle spawning. What are you doing?
You got it.
I got blue.
I'm giving you a
Oh, there's
life
an egg
steal.
here.
I'm coming.
Let's go, Kins. Whatever. Don't need it. Don't need life steal. What's up, Elsa? How are you?
Good play by that guy.
Wow, is that purple worth it?
Fucking Xander
Oh
walked
my
in and didn't
God.
auto it.
You guys are trolling.
This character is actually unplayable without fucking Phoenix Shield. Actually, dog shit character.
You know you can buy that.
I didn't want to. I wanna
What
get
did you
full attack.
build? Ew.
Now good now.
I give him a stack of bricks of every
What
single
are you doing,
type of
bro?
thing, and they'll be set.
Having fun. They're on that, just so we know.
Well, yeah.
Can I go
Knock
through
that
this?
shit off.
They're not on it. Never mind.
I only have 2 stacks. Oh, another egg.
He wasn't right there. Wait, you can find eggs in this?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see who can find the most eggs.
I got an egg.
I found 2.
I got 10.
Get in there.
You just lie for fun.
I've never lied a
I
day
think
in
it
my
does
life.
lie for fun. I think I'm dead.
My man's point, I've never lied a day in my life, as he's lying.
How'd you guys both die?
Well, they can't do anything, so. I'm back.
2-man.
Massive.
What the fuck? Ares is OP. 2 stacks.
I may have missed my ult.
Oh, bungalow.
That person ran away from me.
Not barn.
Can't you dumbass?
Yeah,
Why do you
can.
have aspect, you fucking dumbass?
Cause I need stacks, you
Whoa.
dumbass.
Dumbass.
So many D words. None of them daddy either. Okay. That's not a real one.
Yeah, it is. You called somebody a dick face?
I would feel bad about it. I wouldn't feel good about it, that's for sure. Lightning bolt.
There's a guy that walked around one time at ShopRite with a dick on his face. I mean, my boy Uriah just had to look at it and look back at each other and look at it and then look back at each other. We're like, did you just see that guy walk around with a dick on his? I was like, yep.
Oh my god.
That guy has a dick on his face.
Why did Bobby get pooped on and didn't even do anything?
He's like, oh my god. He starts dying laughing. I'm like, we can't be laughing at the customers, bro. We can't be laughing at the customers. But holy fuck, a dick on your face, bro? You're born with a defect and that's that? Oh my god, I felt so bad. I laughed. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm a piece of shit. I laughed. All right? I'm laughing. You.
Thank God I do something.
How the hell are you born with a dick on your face?
Uh-huh.
On your face. Does it have sensation? Can you stroke the dick on your face and start like
It's pretty good.
Oh my god.
That's pretty massive when you think about it.
All right, let me grab this.
I want this red buff. It's not up. Never mind.
Actually,
Can't get it.
Once I get this rod, this game's over.
Nah-huh.
They have double ship.
I'm probably gonna
ship air
take.
shield.
I need this
Saying you
mixer.
can't build fucking whatever you're building.
I'm gonna pick the store.
Whatever
Fire
dog shit you
station.
guys are
I'm gonna get
building.
2 bricks. I'm gonna get a brick builder and put it in there.
Yes,
My
it
build's online
is.
now.
Ev's brag. Use Phoenix shield. That's good.
Fucking horrible.
Thank you. My build is online.
It's like poo.
Oh, I didn't mean dash in.
I love when you get 3 people who are building, who are like said to be pros, and they all look at each other like,
Put out some fucking damage.
that builds ass, and then the other one's like, no, your build's ass, and then another one's like, no, both your builds ass, and then everyone's like, your ass is build, and then everyone's just like, your ass is build. But then like again, as one person starts shitting, they're like, no, never mind, you got a good build, and then another person's like, nah, he's got garbage build, and then they both do the same thing for each other person.
Finally, a kill I deserve.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
I should have all of them. Ooh,
Getting like
you're
all the
lucky.
kills.
Look at us go. No way they jump in, right?
You got him?
Yep.
You are fucking
Big
useless.
DPS.
You are actually worse than Bobby.
Oh, Patty's
saying a lot.
fucking. Fuck is that story coming from?
You
before?
didn't do anything. You walked at him alt and they got shit on.
If you watched Bobby this morning, you would understand.
Wait, jump to me. I'll help you.
Just jump in general.
I don't have it. I jumped to the blue buff, you fucker. Oh, I have 4K. Oopsie.
Spent some gold, bud. Oh, and I dropped my controller.
This guy plays on controller.
It was just a piece of turkey.
I don't think he plays on controller. I think he just holds it while he plays.
Makes me comfortable.
Playing is a big word.
Makes me feel safe.
Participating, maybe.
I know you didn't know anyone. Actually, insane damage out of me.
You actually did something for once.
What's going on back here?
Dude, where the fuck is Xander, man?
I'm autoing this guy down.
No.
Guys, we should have given him 5 minutes.
I think they win the game if we give them 5 minutes, bro. I'm telling you.
I think we gotta like step up and scare them a bit when they get tired in room if we do 5. We can't just sit there and watch.
I'm telling you, they almost got Phoenix in 3 minutes.
I know Bobby likes watching.
Ooh.
I literally said it first. You can't steal it from me.
Somebody yell. The offensive. Where are you going? We're killing
I
these
literally said it first. You stole it from me.
Okay. Settle down, bud.
Don't take it from me. Don't.
Don't. You can't take it from him.
Thank you.
Killing
Actually
spree.
killed him.
I don't know how you got
Some
that
more
kill.
damage numbers. Demonic actually has to go crazy here. Best item in the game, someone said.
Who said that?
I don't think anybody's ever said that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
partner, that's a
7.
blink.
Holy fuck, there's an egg right there.
No!
No, the fucking Ares stole it, man.
That's
Why don't you
fucked
jump,
up.
dumbass? He walked back over like,
Allies, follow my
"Oh, what's
lead.
this?"
Fuck.
Oh my god!
This rat gonna sit here forever?
Usual.
That was fucking nasty. Holy
Oh, I know.
watch
I
out.
know what I gotta do. Got another rack on one of these. Yep. Alright. 1,
That's another one.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 of these
little guy.
for all of these. And then
James
all I
is
gotta
try
do.
hard.
Oh yeah, sorry. I
Manufacture
wanna
here.
To win the joust game, we give him a 3-minute head start in. My
Time
bad.
4. You getting soloed by this Ares.
That
I got
chance.
scared. I was gonna let him kill you. Okay.
I
What is
did
this
that
guy
one.
doing?
That chance.
What are you doing, bud?
Okay.
What the fuck happened to him?
That's the build.
You can put this in your little dock, buddy. I know you want to.
I'm not
Yeah, you
docking
get out of
anything,
game.
bro. You're gross.
Okay, let's.
Okay, so do we try
How do we
5
win?
minutes? 5 minutes is great. 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
We have to do 5 minutes, play with one hand, and randomize builds.
Okay, I've got an idea. We fake and go out there like we're actually playing the game, and then we walk back to base.
That might be what we
It
have
looks
to
like
do.
we're a threat.
We might have to do
Yeah, we
that.
just won't know where we are. Ant-Man, Superman, Killicam,
Sam, I am.
Lakers in 5. Go Bear, no hair. Lakers in
Okay,
5.
I think they see us, so we can go back here. Oh, you're just
Why are you
you're just
getting a, you
fucking
can't get a
inting.
wave?
You're just inting, bro.
Nobody got the kill onto me. I'm just trying to distract him.
Good distraction.
The brain melting technique, like all those league shorts.
Wait, we can't. We have to sit over here. We can't be where they can
Oh
see
yeah,
us.
that's right. That's a good point. That's a good
They'll
point.
never know where we
Why
are.
is this gold on
Not.
fire? How does gold get on fire?
There's an egg.
How does gold get on fire?
The fuck?
Ooh, an egg.
You melted.
Ooh, an egg.
It doesn't turn
What a
on
stupid
fire.
question.
Stupid.
You're so stupid.
The fire's on fire, you idiot. Wait, what are you
That-
guys even talking about?
This right here, it's gold and shit.
Is fire hot?
They're brooks. Stones, I mean.
Okay,
Or,
how do
bricks.
bricks light on fire?
It's the fire that's on fire, you idiot.
That's not.
I got a brick in my pants.
You don't think fire can be on fire?
Is water
That's like
wet?
saying water's not wet, dumbass.
Yeah, dumbass.
Where did I leave?
She does have
The
conduit,
bed.
though. She has conduit.
Yeah, she has got. Why did? She's missing a relic, and they have 2 shells. What the fuck? What's going on here?
Where did I leave my bed?
You're not supposed to gulp DC.
Uh oh, guys.
Bad for you.
They're
chug
getting the
'em.
Phoenix.
I don't think they see
I'm gonna
us.
pretend to threaten them.
Yep. Get him back there. Yeah, get back there.
Whoa,
I'll run back to the
wait,
bungalow.
on the building.
Fuck.
Now you got the wave.
I didn't even hit the wave. Wait, walk
Back
away,
up!
you idiot.
Back up!
Stupid bitch.
Don't be cheating now. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Sorry, we're halfway there.
Oh, there's the bed.
We're losing Phoenix for sure. Back up! They'll get
No, no.
XP.
No, I'm gonna threaten. I won't. I won't.
Don't
I
get
won't.
XP.
This guy's gonna get fucking
Do
XP.
you not know what the range is? I know what the range is.
Uh huh. I
I
bet.
literally have it on a spreadsheet.
I've calculated this in my dock.
It's 22 meters.
He probably does have a dog for it. They're quaking, bro. They don't even think about getting into this fucking range of this. Oh! That was
Bobby's cheating.
crazy, bro.
Oh no.
I think we're losing it, bro. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. We got time. We got time. 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
You might
just
have to give
gone.
up. They're getting
They're
Phoenix
getting
here.
Phoenix, I think.
Gone.
Yeah, it's fucked.
How
Yeah,
ahead
we're
are
only down 3,000.
Only 3K down. That's not bad.
Xander, I
That's
see your
not
XP
bad.
bar moving.
My XP bar isn't moving. It's my mana bar, dumbass.
They did Golden Knight and they killed our Phoenix.
It's alright, 5 seconds, we can get a base pull here and we'll be back.
Oh, I should probably buy an item. That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably buy an item.
Alright, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back.
Wait, hold on, I'm waiting for book.
Kill this guy, kill him, pluck him!
Go, 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 go! Go, 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 go! Oh, shit.
I got him.
Yeah!
Can we kill him?
Guys, this guy's
Oh, yeah, we're doing damage to that.
I'm gonna talk to my dealers.
Wait, we're killing him, right? Am I committed for this? Oh, nice.
What?
massive shutdown.
Massive shut. That was worth
I don't even have a skateboard.
I wish I got that. How are we gonna kill these fire
minion waves? No problem. We got a Merlin. We're good.
Oh my god. That's so different.
Oh my god, we're done. Quick reset.
Bro, you get 1,000 gold when Phoenix respawns, so I guess we just gotta keep the Phoenix. Get
No
it out.
way. Is that a thing? Why does that be a thing?
That's what G-Shaw said.
No.
That guy's cracked.
Holy.
I didn't get the reaction. That guy has a better reaction time than that on her earlier.
So dumb.
Not you, silly.
Nice. Oh, maybe not nice. You're so dead.
We gotta kill his fucking soul.
I gotta get the wave, bro.
I got it. I'm chunking this wave.
Okay, we're back. How is Bobby still alive? What is he doing up there?
You're dead.
Got my magi signal.
How's it looking? There you go. Got knocked up. How you looking?
Hey.
Should've killed that deuce in JJ. What are you doing? Oh shit.
Alright. We got clear. We're good.
Give me my gold skateboard back. Thanks. I got some new items for you.
Double? Oh. Hit her? You cooking? Help me hit her?
Yep, all you. I'll figure out. Don't worry.
Believe in you.
Go plus this one over there.
Why did you take her away from me?
You stupid bitch.
I literally, you're so dumb.
Got nothing. The video's gonna be right there.
I'll be good for you, Bob.
Not great. Their soul still doesn't have a relic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're only down 2,600. That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's doable. I want medical defense. It's doable. They kind of beating that Bacchus right now.
You're gonna be my brick dude.
Bluestone Geb.
Kind of winning.
Why
Oh,
do you
you
not?
are trolling. Oh, you can damage Gab. This guy's so stupid.
Oh, fuck.
Well, to be fair, we do need somebody that's gonna do damage because I'm Tank Merlin.
Yep. I'm damaged Geb.
It should be free.
So get everything
Oh, I
made
met
into
your mother.
bricks and then put the bricks in
That's
the
how I met
inventory.
your mother. Oh, how'd you fucking slim down? What happened? Slippery snake.
Slippery
He has no dash. Oh, fuck.
I'll come clean up.
Why does he have just like the bubble animation, but he doesn't
Don't let
have
him
a
back,
bubble?
Bobby. Don't kill him either, though. I need to kill.
Oh, here it is.
Drop his
Wait,
back.
I need that kill.
Kill him, JJ. Nice. We don't need to Xander get that.
Shield?
Shield him.
This guy's so fucking bad.
Unlucky. I didn't have a
This
shield
guy's
yet.
so bad. You shielded yourself, I saw it!
Oh, fuck. I didn't kill the
We
wave,
have
man.
no wave clear at all.
Kill it.
I'm chugging these guys.
I'm ready. Oh, shit. I got you.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
I need that. Wait, I need that. No!
I got it, don't worry.
You fucking muppet! This is mine.
That's what you think.
Well, that's how you make XP.
I almost got the auto.
That's how you make
So
money.
close.
FYI.
What are you doing to that guy, Bobby? Stop playing tiddlywinks with the Bacchus.
Him and
I'm
I
gonna
are
break maker.
Uh-huh. I have a...
Look at this guy.
Are you now?
There's a deuce coming. I'm good on that. She went straight mid. Okay.
Said, fuck all that nonsense.
Catch you later for a bit.
Go next.
GG's.
Why am I only level 9?
Because you're playing tiddlywinks.
Melissa
You
Gar
can't get enough
or
of tiddles.
Melissa Gerard, thank you for
Actually,
the follow
might need you
yesterday.
on the waves.
I'm
15
actually
times
ahead
good.
of them. What the fuck?
We're actually
Ew,
ahead of
he's
the team.
sweating.
Ooh, a little red buff action? A red buff action? That did not look very fun for her. I'll say it.
We're waiting
I'll
till
say
like,
it.
yeah,
I caught her off guard.
6.
Such a bastard.
Thank you.
You
I'm
good,
coming
Bobby?
back.
You good?
I could get
I'm coming
product, but
back.
I'm just gonna focus on each store at a time and just fix small things.
I was ready for him. You got him, or this can't
I
go
got him.
well?
Knock on him. JJ's doing no damage.
I'm doing it all,
Oh my
man.
God.
I'm doing it all.
You're useless.
I couldn't do more
you hit
there.
him?
I didn't even know you were hitting him.
You're so dumb. We're coming back.
Yeah, on God.
Once I start doing damage, these guys are fucked.
What are you gonna build next? Totem?
Gem of ISO.
Okay.
Ooh. Love a good Gem of ISO game.
Dude,
This is
stop.
actually such a good gem of ISO. Ooh, an egg.
What? Leave it for me. Leave it for me. Where is it?
Already got it.
They're in the middle lane. You guys want this wave, or?
Yeah, I can help you with that.
No, I'm gonna go kill. After I get this wave.
I don't want to back. I'm gonna back real quick. Are you guys gonna int while I'm gone?
I haven't seen you help once.
Uh-huh.
A little gassy, my bad.
You're a little gassy boy.
Why are you taking my purple?
Pretty sure I do more than that with you than you with you. If I'm
You're trying to do me.
No, I do more than that when you do.
What the
By a
fuck?
long
Oh,
shot.
I missed the first auto, man. I'm dog shit. How did I mess that up?
What car you drive?
JJ looks like he drives a Prius.
I drive a
Oh,
Tesla.
Prius this is.
God, I can't tell.
You cook Bobby.
Bro, I got
Oh, you're
interrupted
missing
on it.
everything.
Bobby.
This Bacchus is doing it to you.
No way. Okay. Jesus
Fuck
Christ. I thought you killed her. I really thought you killed her off that.
Yeah, yeah. You need my help?
No, I'm good.
I'm coming.
Uh-huh. Damn! Meat stick!
What?
Meat stick, Bacchus!
You just plop that thing on your face.
Put his good old meat on
Janet,
ya.
how aren't you done stacking your book yet?
Yeah, give it some time.
Jesus. Come back.
Yeah! Doink.
Nope, Xander's dead.
Great.
Who said I'm dead? I might be the last guy I know.
Okay.
Dead.
I guess I should just blow past.
That's right, I'm alive, we can defend.
Why don't we have World Stone, Bobby?
That's my last item.
Thought maybe that was the first item.
No. There's a reason that I'm the silly build guy.
They're on the okay. They're on the red buff.
Every one of your builds is dog shit. I mean, silly.
No way she comes back up to us, right? Oh my god.
Shredding him.
The health chalice. One health chalice. He has
Shredding?
2 more left.
He's shredded?
He has 2 more. He has a mana pot also. Watch out. Bacchus with mana pot. 15 minutes in a joust game.
They're gonna dip shit at you.
Don't want to alarm you.
I got the selfishness down.
Heyo, Shul. Goodbye, Shul.
Get her!
Where'd she go? You let her
Teleport.
TP.
Come here. Come here!
Get back here.
We got a question for you. No!
She pissed on you.
Can you shield me? Holy fuck, man! Or do anything?
I thought you were gonna kill her.
Uh-huh.
She got out of range of my dash. I couldn't jump on her.
Yeah, was I out of range of your shield too?
Who knows?
You're welcome.
Knock up.
Oh my
What the
god,
frick?
you are stink.
That guy is smooth with the movement. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm pounding.
Oh, the Bacchus didn't notice me. Nice.
What? God damn it!
You just missed your ult?
Yeah, cause you
Wait,
booped him
missed it?
backwards, man.
Oh, so we're blaming others for our own mistakes. I've been here a few times.
I got fast.
Where'd that
We
come
got
from?
him. No, it's fine. We've got him. He's going down eventually.
I'll get him.
Why did
You
you
guys keep
play?
pulling him out of abilities.
He is such a fucking
I
bastard.
shredded that guy.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't know
used
if that would even kill.
35 abilities.
You guys took a minute to kill him. I thought
Oh
I'd
my
help out.
god. Jesus. Big? Damn, that fucking one minion got peppered. Ow. What was that for? I say fuck me for? Well, guys, you know what it means for next game. 5-minute head start.
Oh!
Damn, you got
He
shit
got
on.
lucky. He got lucky.
Got stinky winkied on. Is that your favorite
Yeah,
Teletubby?
what are you guys? Hmm?
I don't
No,
know
I like the
Stinky
pink
Winky's
one.
a Teletubby.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Love the pink one.
No, there's Hinky Dinky.
What did you say, Xander?
I love the pink one.
Why'd you say it like that?
I'm telling you, he like moans half the things he says, does he not?
He does. He does.
I never.
He's like, I'm gonna eat this
I
yogurt
do
without
not
the
know.
spoon. You guys ready to end it all? I mean, this game.
I'm
Gonna
gonna
ball
kill
with the
myself.
boys? No. No.
I don't think you can say that.
In game, I was gonna go in.
In Minecraft.
Good save. Good save. by me
Good
there.
save. Good save.
Great save by me there.
Let's do the night and then win the game, guys. Thoughts?
It's sweating.
I have an ultimate ability at the ready. You guys
Yeah,
gonna
blue.
help me do this or no?
I'm coming. Hold on.
I thought we were zoning.
Okay.
You can solo that.
I'm
What did you
healing it.
build?
I'm healing it.
There you go. You got a shield. You done complaining?
First one in 19 minutes. Let's go. Oh my god!
What the fuck? You just went for the play.
That was
yeah, you
fucking
gonna teleport back?
crazy. What's up, bitch?
You do no damage.
That was kind of that was kind of a maneuver. I'm not gonna lie. +1 for creativity there.
I was
Absolutely
wondering why she was
+1.
dashing wave. I thought she just wanted some XP by herself.
Yeah, that was bold. I liked it. Dude, I'm telling you, fire minions fucking suck in this game mode. They don't do more damage than normal minions, I swear. They're cosmetic. I'm like 95% sure.
Didn't kill her.
I'm gonna... Oh my goodness.
He's up downing on you.
That was bold, to say the least.
I'm distracted.
Yeah.
Got some polyautos in there. That's all you guys. I literally have done 6,000 damage to him.
I might go drink some more booze and drink some more alcohol outside.
You guys are fucking trolling.
That was funny.
Watch out! I warned her.
Enemy missing left.
Oh no. In the base.
I did. Oh, never mind.
I kind of can't believe we won that with Xander trolling his fucking face off and...
I know, Xander
Top
was
damage!
trolling.
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
really good get build, man. Really good.
We're both tanks. You're the
Top
fucking DPS
damage.
player. You should be top damage.
What the fuck? Top damage by a mile.
You barely outdamaged us.
By a mile.
You barely.
Full damage Geb and you're fucking useless.
That's
All right.
Woodstone.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Y'all Star Shout. See you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, we're testing cheap versus expensive car bubbles. This is supposed to protect luxury vehicles from all manner of chaos. Manner of chaos. All manner of chaos. I don't know how they work. Introduce us to our luxury vehicle? Oh yeah, it's a Sonata. No license plate. I have no idea how this works. All the others come from this company that makes the inflator. This one was just a plastic bag. Okay. There's a wrench. Yeah, let's start with the wrench before we bring out the huntsman's axe. This is just like you park your car in the garage and then you pull on and the wrench falls. Wait, we have to inspect the damage. Oh yeah, there's
think he punctured the roof.
I feel like, yeah, you can just do it between your legs down here and get just as much air. Yeah. Here we go, here we go. Yup. That was a great toss, man. I think it's good. Here, I'll go check. Yeah. Oh no, there's a little hole. I see it. I see the hole. Little hole.
Yeah, I punctured the roof.
Hey, quick! This is a disaster! Oh yeah, it's for the tilt
Mm.
garage. Honestly, think you could go sit up there. Do it. You got it. Yeah, let's walk up the car. You're wearing shorts under your pants? Come on. Yep. There it is. Boats and logs. Oh my god. Wow. Are you touching the car? Shit. See if jumping on it gets to it. I wonder. As it like pushes back up against me. Great camping equipment. Great bubble for cars. Small Pierce on the top. Probably worth it if you got like a real big luxury vehicle you want to keep safe. Give us your closing thoughts, Charles. I like it. I didn't like $200 option. $500 option's good if you're on a budget, but $1,200. This is the works. Yeah, it's just a garage. I also don't know why you'd ever buy it though. You just put your car in a garage. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think this goes in a garage. Yeah. So my thought is why? Yeah. Elements. But you're in a garage. Yeah, but still there's heat and stuff. Maybe that's why. If you're, yeah, I mean, I guess if you're, just being I can think of, check this. You are a mechanic and you're getting cars, other cars to work on, and while you're working on them, park them in here just to make sure they stay super safe. Like it feels like such a weird in between. Yeah. Where the person with 11 Ferraris in their lineup that they've run out of space probably buys two pickups.
Guy falls off a roof, the first thought is always colliding with rocks.
Guy Thank you very much. This guy's been working for me for a long time, and I get bonus points if I act like I care. Cervical MRI, out for DIC, and start on a heparin drip. When was they? I'm sure it's in the file. Or you could ask her. She's as old as the bestest friend. Cub Scouts together. I'll get started on the blood tests. You haven't been a real doctor in 10 years. So maybe messing with the sheets. I'll do it. Duty. I still know how to handle a patient. Give me blood. Lots of blood. They're better. They showered.
Nurse! Help! Nurse! Help! Nurse! What's up? I killed my mom! I killed my mom! Take it easy. The protein C side effects we were worried about? They happen.
Where was the bleed?
It's Brian. It's causing eyesight paralysis. I'm stopping treatment. And called a neurosurgeon.
I didn't know there was only 8 seasons of House. I thought it was like 13.
Fall could cause acute respiratory distress syndrome.
Right. Forgot.
Mold.
What about the aspergillus fungus we found under the sink?
What sink?
Would have cleaned your bathroom better.
You broke into my house?
No, that went wrong. I had a key.
You had no right to invade my privacy. There was no medical reason for that whatsoever. There was certainly no moral reason for it. Oh. Damn. You're right. Focal consolidation makes fungal pneumonia far more likely.
Right. On the bright side, it has the advantage of keeping you totally responsible.
Treatment for aspergillosis and terrorism, that's hugely dangerous. Yeah? Point being?
Dangerous and aggressive route that worked best. Out of the list. Starting with the epidemic.
Dr. Cody? I met Frills. How's he doing? He's worried about money. I want to work. How old are you? 15. Well, I can paint. I mow lawns. I rake leaves. I can start to paint.
Like you care. Fuck you, kid. 12-year-old what, bitch? My brother's dying.
Doing great. Is this enough?
Getting any electrical response?
Shut it off. We don't complete the test. My posters contaminated the
Yes.
infection phase chest and abdominal.
Good. Don't go rub their lying, cheating privates in a cotton swab.
Whoa, okay. Is this because of the condoms? You found them in his jacket. Figured he was hiding something from me. I thought I was pregnant last month. Kind of freaked me out. Way too young to have kids.
So you just wanted to be extra cautious. Just one of us who figured that out, stuck to his guns. Still wouldn't check your butt.
She's the only girlfriend I've ever had. Lovely. I can't say I love my wife. Still gonna test you. What is it? I'm white?
Nigga went. You see, cause you're white.
White and black. Especially black. Sorry, Trace, but it's true.
Great. Prove us all wrong.
I just think that everybody looks at everybody very badly.
No scarring? Purely discharge. Anti-ATs are negative. They don't have an STD. What's that you say? You got a problem with interracial couples? Chase. No. Any New York shorties ever been whiteys? I understand your ghetto slang, Dr. House. How many black women have you dated, by the way? I don't care about color. As long as they can help me breed a superior race.
Don't care about race. I don't care about what race they are, as long as they can help me breed a more superior race. I'm like, oh, what color their skin is, as long as they can help me build a more superior race.
Take the wife off of steroids. If she spikes a fever or notice an infection, she does it. It's environmental.
The problem is I talk like House, I act like House, but I'm not House. I love that House shoved something over guy's ass just for the principle of shit. What the fuck kind of, I like when I really look at some of their emotions. Laundering. Tracy's eyes rolled to the back of her head. She can't even see shit. She's having a partial stroke. No, a full-blown stroke or something. Coma. Yeah. One day I'm gonna put myself in a coma and y'all motherfuckers gonna be like, how the fuck did you wake up from your coma? Give me my chilies! Give me my chilies! $54,000 say within 2 days. broke his arm.
It's not medical. Just thought blacksmith racing sports.
Is my mom okay?
She's gone to surgery.
Foreman. Go over and wants to know if you're available for Valentine's sack surprise. What are you doing down here?
It's a snowstorm. We are short-staffed. We're all supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here. You're an expert. This could sting a little.
Ow. Can we hurry this up?
Make sure they take your time. What's your name?
Hannah Morgenthau?
You have SIBA, Hannah Morgenthau.
Oh, I don't.
We have to do x-rays to make sure you don't have internal injuries, blood tests to make sure no infections, EEG for neurological anomalies, and biopsy of spinal nerve.
Well, congenital insensitivity to pain is one of the rarest conditions on the planet. It's only been about 60 documented cases.
Yeah, and I have
Alright.
7 reasons to take
I swear, if this place doesn't come up with like 20 fucking bricks,
She knew what it was without us telling her.
they even have money.
She's still wet from the snow. She's not shivering. That's odd. Plus, she can't sweat or feel hot and cold.
The ambulance was warm. I want to see my mother.
3, scarring around the lips and tongue. She was the baby. She chewed on herself. Feeling
I fell through a window when I was a kid.
4, clean the wound. She flexed into the cleaner instead of away from it. It's hard to fake pain when you've never felt it. Takes an imaginative leap, Liz Morgenthau. Those one day Jew names. Ashkenaz is her higher risk group.
On the other hand, she says she doesn't have it. And she'd be dead by now if she'd never been diagnosed.
They killed her. And I trust her.
This.
She wants to see her mom. She admits having SIBA. She knows we're not letting her go anywhere without a battery of tests.
Said you had 7.
Say this is condescending, but then you get the false impression that I'm respecting kid. We're scared. Can't feel pain. Nothing left but pleasure. Why don't you tell me how wonderful that is?
It sucks.
Mmm. Look at that. 14 bricks.
Every morning, I have to check my eyes to make sure I didn't scratch a cornea in my sleep.
Oh, God, stop. I'm in a pool of tears here.
I can't cry.
Neither can I. Every morning, I check my eyes for jaundice. She's the Vicodin has finally shot my liver.
I can't run anywhere without examining all my toes for swell.
I can't run.
Boys can't hold me for too long because I can overheat.
Girls can't hold me for too long because I only pay for an hour.
I need an alarm on my watch to remind me to go to the bathroom. Know how many humiliating experiences before I thought of that?
Bathroom's 50 feet from my office. Every drink of water, I weigh the pros and cons.
After everything I do, I self-check. Mouth, tongue, gums for cuts. Count teeth, check temperature.
I'll be back to stream. I'll catch you guys.